Welcome to Woman of Change Podcast with your host, Tanya McCarter.
Today, I'm going to be sharing a message about the impact of mental health and how the human mind has been affected because of social media. Many will say, but it's just social media. Many won't even realize that they're being affected, and many will not care and continue suffering the use of it. When anything, no matter what it is, starts to affect your mental health, it's time to simply start making changes. Therefore, the focus today is your mental health. Statistically, 65% of people from all different stages, groups, have stated that social media has harmed their mental health. And now again, this is probably coming from the people who are self-aware. Think about the people who are not self-aware of the effects that social media has caused. Loneliness, anxiety, depression, self-harm, and suicidal thoughts have all been reported. And in these actions, many people have harmed themselves. One, because they feel as though their lives do not measure up to someone else's. Therefore, this creates a competitive spirit to perform on someone else's level, when ultimately you should just be happy and feel blessed for where God has you in your life. So I know I have witnessed some of these things from social media and what they have caused by God making me self-aware through discernment and intuitive thinking. And like I said, just being able to see these things out on the internet. Social media has also caused so much division simply because others are viewing someone else's life daily. And it causes others to be envious, jealous, and causing them to feel insecure about their own lives. So then as God begins to show me these people, it was showing me how weak their spirits were. God was showing me how weak their spirits were. And even before the start of an account, how weak the minds were. And this is why Satan can easily attack people throughout social media with foolishness. Because if you don't have a strength that comes from God, or a strength or something stronger that you can rely on and that you can depend on, then you're gonna be swayed into the things of the world. You're gonna be attracted to the evilness of the world. You're gonna be attracted to want what someone else have, even if you haven't really worked hard to achieve it or obtain it. And if you're sitting there allowing all of these negative, small-minded communities to feed you all day, then God say this is going to be your result, because you're not allowing God to feed you. You're not putting yourself in a place of worship and fellowship and praise, and putting God as the head and as the top priority. And this is what you have to do. And when you do those things, then it pushes things back, like depression, like anxiety. And even in sometimes when you do have anxiety, you learn how to cope. There's different coping skills. It's not necessarily running to marijuana or running to, self-harm of drug usage of any form or alcohol usage. But now you can run to Christ. You have something stronger that can be your source and that can be your help and that you can rely on and you can depend on, and you can stop strolling throughout the day and hoping and putting your dependence into things and put that into Christ. And so, like I said, when things come up, things like depression and anxiety, because this is life and things can come about, and there can be certain events that occur in your life that happen. However, when those things happen, there's better ways to cope rather than, choosing places like social media to go and vent and to pull someone else down, to make yourself feel higher, or to belittle someone that day, or to bully. And it's bullying throughout social media all throughout the day. And it doesn't matter who this bullying is being brought up on, but it's going on throughout the days. And, you know, it's not putting you in a good headspace, nor is it helping you. It's a hindrance and it's not a blessing. One thing I do love about social media is that there are a lot of positivity that comes by the use of social media. However, there's a lot of negativity as well, and we're focusing on the mental health and what the status say that is causing people to be lonely and causing them to be depressed and to run to suicidal thoughts. God say that this is going to be your result because you're not allowing God to feed you. You're allowing social media to feed you. If social media is causing you to be different from your real life, you should either walk away from it for a while or simply just shut it down. So another thing that God showed me through discernment is that there's family against one another, making indirect statements towards each other, doing things to hurt the other. Do you really believe that God is in any of those actions? Do you really believe that God is going to serve or honor any of those actions? Or that He's going to be with you and your children when you operate out of these actions? It doesn't matter if you're hurting another family member or a stranger. God says that we never know when we're entertaining angels. So something that you do on the internet to bully or harm someone else, you never know who you've entertained. Then you wonder why your life continues suffering harm, pain. You're never happy. You hurt people because it says hurt people hurt people. God is saying that you need to come out of your foolishness and focus on yourself and your family. Hurting others doesn't make you feel better about your situation. It only keeps you in the pit and going around the same mountain year after year after year. Stop wasting unnecessary time. Life is too short. And the people that you're wasting time on, trying to hurt on social media, probably don't even think of you like this. So it's beyond time to grow up and to mature in your life. Many of these issues can be changed by so many helping to stop the bullying, the hurting, the insulting, and the counseling culture that we all know of, by just simply minding your own business and living your life. Not getting too wrapped up in others or social media. Devote most of your time to reality, real life, real time. These are just platforms, but these platforms should make you crazy to where you're arguing with strangers on the internet. Like, really? This should not be. There should also be boundaries with social media. I was reading how long it takes for a teen or a young adult mind to develop. So basically, it's from a teenager's age, which is around 13, to around 25. And so it allowed me to think, it allowed me to kind of ponder on this thought. Why are we allowing them access to these certain types of things? I felt as though this was such a disservice for their mental health. Many teens and young adults have committed suicide behind social media. Boundaries have to be set. Self-control, by not allowing social media to control the human's mind of the cognitive thinking. So this brings me to my point, my final point, is that as a community and as a culture and as believers of God and as leaders, as doers of the word, we have to become better with the information that we put out, the influences that we cause. There's no human affection. Love is being lost behind these platforms, and people are being destroyed. People are losing their lives. Children are committing suicides. It's all because of the fact of social media. So we have to get to a better place of being knowledgeable. Parents have to grab a hold of their children and be more self-aware and how bullying can affect so many and create so many negative thoughts by simply just your actions. And some actions and then some are reacting behind those. So, in all that you do, strive hard to walk in love and have other things that feed you. So, boundaries have to be set. Boundaries has to be set in order. It doesn't matter what age group you fall in. Just like it said with the statistics here, it said that all age groups are being affected in some way mentally behind social media. That just leads me to say that as much as you can, walk in love with people. Show love, show care, show compassion. Instead of taking on troll action and being offensive to someone and hurting someone, try showing love. And families, please, please, whatever you do, come together. Stop allowing these small communities to go against one another, to battle one another, to hurt and pull one another down, to make indirect statements. Because you don't know what that one is going through. That one doesn't know what you're going through. And you don't know if she lost her job this morning. You don't know if they can barely feed their family. I mean, you just don't know. So you have to show people love. You have to show a sense of compassion. Don't lose the love that you once had for your family or for your loved ones and get disconnected from the things that you once had. Like I said, this is for my larger communities of social media, things like TikTok, and there could be joyful moments, positive moments. And it's just such a great way that has been displayed for us to connect and love on one another. It shouldn't be anything where it's to pull you back from being your true self. Be your true, authentic, loving self. If you just created accounts to be trolls or to be hurtful, I would just challenge you to go look within yourself and also to find something stronger to connect to, which is Christ, and to not be weak. Don't be weak in spirit. Don't be weak in heart. Don't be weak in your faith and in your walk. And strive to be a person that wants to see other people be happy. Like, that's a joy. That's something, get something positive out of what you see throughout the day. You know, God tells us to rejoice with those who rejoice and to weep with those who weep. So even when you see people going through horrible moments, it's a moment to connect with those people and to show them that you have that love here and that you're there to support them. But don't just be there when they're in weeping moments. Be there to rejoice when people are coming up and when people are being blessed. And stop comparing yourselves to those people, because you'll dismiss your blessings and the things that God has done for you and the things that God is doing for your family and your children and your blessings and the things that you've asked Him for. It'll allow you to look at your life like it's small, or nothing God do is small. Thank you guys for tuning into my podcast and for subscribing to my YouTube channel. I love you guys, and be blessed.
Thank you for tuning into Woman of Change podcast with Tanya McCarter.